Awesome. Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode in the life of Sebastian. And today we're going to talk about career changes, changing careers, embracing change, embracing things that made you feel really scared, and making the decision of changing, of actually changing your life so you can fulfill your goals, so you can fulfill it. And to me, I want to talk especially about shifting my mindset towards entrepreneurship. I have to be really honest with you guys. When I first moved to Canada, my plan wasn't to become an entrepreneur. It was to become a musician and an artist. And after 3 years of doing entrepreneurship and wearing the hat of entrepreneurship and wearing the role, I kind of got sick and tired of it. I've realized that it's not always what people sell you, and that I have a higher calling, that I actually want to dedicate myself more to my craft, my creativity, and my creative strategy, my artistry, my music. And I'm very proud of all the skills I've collected over these last, 3 years of doing this full time. And I will continue to do it full time, but I'm going to use it now to fuel my dreams. So I'm inviting you guys to see the journey, to witness how I become an artist, the artist that I actually want to be. I want to be selling concerts. I want to be creating things with my hands. And, it goes beyond photography. And for a long time, I was feeling this stagnancy. I used to feel like nothing I do works. Nothing I do, it's helping me get to where I want to be. And I had to come clear with, I don't even want to be an entrepreneur full time. Like, it's cool, it's nice, I love that I've been wearing the hat and that I can call myself that. But I'm actually releasing the limiting belief that I can't be an artist without being an entrepreneur. And it's been really challenging and tough to take off the hat and just say, I'm learning how to do life like everybody else. And it's been really humbling because there is a moment when you're doing entrepreneurship that you need to ask yourself, do you want to wear this hat forever? Is this what you want to keep doing for the rest of your life? And to me, with my creativity and the things that I enjoy doing and the things that I like to do with my life, I deeply know in myself that what I actually want is to be an artist, to create, to utilize my creativity and fuel my life with that. And I got into this place looking at, my bills and my statements and all of the money that I put into the business, and then all the responsibilities that come from it, and then how I started to feel really about it. I'm like, okay, I've got ahead of the game. I'm doing all of these things. Why do I not feel fulfilled? And through that honesty, I've realized that I wasn't being true to myself. I really want to make music. And I've been making music for the last 10 years. I released a record last year, and it didn't move the way that I thought it would move. I thought that I did a good marketing campaign, and I've learned that I didn't. And now I am in the midst of putting together a new record and making more music and choosing the music and showing up to it differently. And I am just going to do it showing you the process. I'm just going to walk you through what it looks like to be an entrepreneur, becoming an artist, and fully embracing the artist hat, and me doing all of the life changes that involves. Starting with how I show up and my routine and my discipline. And it's really interesting because the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been building my body and I've been building consistency with it. and I can actually feel the difference in how I show up and how I feel. And that's number one. I think that if I have to explain the process of how I'm taking this shift and how I'm making this change in my career, it's number one, I'm changing the way I feel in my body, the way I talk to my body and relate to my body. Two, my mindset. Three, the extracurricular activities that I'm taking. Four, the community and the networking. And five, resting and balancing life. So I've been working out consistently for 3 days, during the past 6 months, like really hitting those consistent numbers. And now I've increased it to 5. And it's incredible to see how just by doing a small shift in your schedule, fitting 1 hour for yourself, can really change the way you relate to yourself and the way you build self-worth, and you build like your capacity and your agency. When it comes to mindset, one issue that I've been facing a lot with business has been my competence. I'm a really warm and competent person, but sometimes I lean more on the warm side of things, leaving my competence to aside, trying to not look too intimidating, because I already feel like I'm an intimidating person in terms of my achievements and the things that I've done at such young age. And I feel that because of that, some people might take me really seriously and some people might not. And I'm facing now this particular moment where I'm starting to feel that people don't take me fully seriously because I haven't taken myself fully seriously. So the shift in mindset right now, it's how can I increase my leverage? How can I increase my competence? And how can I increase my agency? And it's been really interesting because it's just a matter of doing. And in order for you to do, you need to be clear mentally. You just have to be like, okay, even though I have all of this shit going on, I can focus and I can get stuff done and I can show up to it and I can stay motivated and I can stay on track. So I think that that would be essentially number one. Like those two things go side on side. Then, talking about the music and the artistry, I am somebody that loves creative direction. And that's sort of where I'm starting to take my life with more control and more discipline. It's being a creative director, but also crafting things with my hands. Something that I've been struggling with for the last couple of months is that I no longer want to just do online things. Like, I love that I can now, just create videos and edit them, but I don't want to just keep doing that for the rest of my life. I feel that there is so much more to do outside, and there is so much things that I want to touch and that I want to grasp on, and life is short and I have to make something out of it. So I'm switching my services from online services and digital to product. That's one thing that I'm doing with my business. I decided to actually start moving myself to product. I have a brand coming up, and then I have a few services updates that will be coming soon in the next few months. And then the other side of it, it's making rest essential. I think that this has been the change that I've been neglecting the most for the last 6 years. It's I have to be productive and I have to do so much and I have to. And I've been, like going to bed around 12 p.m., around 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning, even 3 sometimes, because I'm constantly, I have to make the music and I have to do this thing and I have to do this work thing and I have to keep showing up and showing up and showing up. And it's like my stamina started to run down and I've had issues waking up early, and then I was like, who am I even becoming? I don't know myself. So now that I'm in this process of shifting all of the gear and making rest essential, my body's starting to feel that reward, and I'm starting to feel more complete in a sense and more established, more, like, oh, this is what I actually need. So if you're in the journey of, like building your life and changing careers and changing your life, know that you can look successful to a lot of people, but you define what success looks like. You define what being proud of yourself looks like. And I'm really proud of everything I have achieved until this moment. I just know that I want more, but I don't want the success of the name of being an entrepreneur anymore. I just want to focus on my artistry, my creativity, and fueling the dreams that I actually have. And in order for me to get there, I had to be really honest and just notice I no longer want to be, the top photographer in whatever area that I'm in. I'm a good photographer and I'm happy with the work that I do. And I do it really well. But I don't only want to do photography. I want to, like start playing with clay. I'm thinking about joining a interior design school. And there are all these other things that are in the back of my head that I'm like, yeah, the last 3 years I've learned how to do powerful content. I've worked with brands. I, like have all of the setup for photography. So I'm keeping all of that skill and mindset, but I'm switching gears, moving myself from doubt and unclarity to this is where I want to be in life. And this is what I actually need to do. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I am sharing the process, and I think this is going to be a weekly update. I'll just be updating you guys on what's happening with my life, how I'm making all of these changes, because I'm done with playing the expert role. I am not an expert. I am a life doer, and the only way that you get really good at something is trying and putting an effort and showing up consistently. So I am going to move from the expert lens into I am a skilled person learning how to gain more skills and how to get better. I've built a solid foundation, and now I am planning to shift gears to actually choose my dreams and go in that direction. So if you see me sharing more of myself, sharing more of my music, sharing more of what matters to me, it's because life is short. And I really don't need to explain that to people, But I was watching this movie twice actually, Hamnet. And the grief that I experienced watching the movie made me realize I have to live my life and I have to fulfill my dreams. And I've had, like my rough moments growing up, and I cannot stay there anymore. I cannot stay there. I can honor it, but I need to move forward. I need to find myself in the world and show up to it in a way that it's totally different from what I know. Because what I know, a lot of things served me, but a lot of them don't work anymore. And I'm done with feeling stuck and feeling miserable and feeling like, why is all of these things that I'm trying to do not working? And it's because I'm still trying to do them from the same place I was doing them before. And now I have to just change completely the strategy. And sometimes that's what you have to do with creative strategy, with branding, with everything. You just have to shift gears and let go, detach completely from the outcome, but just show up to it differently. So this is my accountability YouTube thing. I'm putting it out there for anyone that wants to just follow the journey, follow along, learn something if you can learn anything. And let's see how this goes. Plan number 1, it's focus more on the music, sharing more about it and the reason why I make it and why it's so important to me, and collaborate more with artists and just share more of that. Second, it's how I'm changing my business. So how I'm moving from just being a service-based business into a product/service. And then how I am doing these massive career changes and, going to school, going to classes and whatever I end up learning. You know, I am somebody that really enjoys learning things. So this is week one. Week one, I already got 5 workouts in. Life is good. You know, we have spring around the corner. I'm wearing this so that the sun doesn't hit me too much. And let's see where we go. This is how you strengthen your weakest self. You just have to show up. So it's a pleasure to see you in my videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you have any recos, or if you're going through something similar to this, send them my way. I am definitely learning. So have a good one. Be kind and sweet to yourself, and choose yourself. Choose your dreams. Go for them. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Life doesn't need to look perfect. It just needs to look like a life. So if you already have one, take it seriously.